Wednesday, December 27th, 2017. Went from Minnesota, where it was -7 with a -20 wind chill, drove all the way down to Arkansas, right near Hot Springs, in between Hot Springs and Mena, to the Eagle Rock Loop, which is a 28.6-mile loop that has stream crossings and mountains and all kinds of fun stuff. 32 degrees right now, which is way warmer than it was. A cast back there.
Hey guys.
And we're just gonna have a good old time.
So we're out here on the Eagle Rock Loop Trail in Arkansas. We're doing it counterclockwise because we just decided to switch it up a bit. It's a pretty long trail. I guess it ranges from easy to extremely difficult at certain points. It's known for having a lot of terrain changes. But one thing that's important to remember is that there's a lot of different trails intersecting and they all have different colors. So they're all going to be marked by some of these dashes on the trees. The particular one we're on has white ones, so we just kind of have to watch out for those. You may be wondering why I look like a grandma. I have a bit of a head cold right now, but in addition to that, this is all my winter stuff, because for some reason, this week it decided to be unseasonably cold here in Arkansas, so I'm packed up with all my cold stuff.
Got some steep sections here, and since we did decide to go counterclockwise, it seems to be the most difficult part of the trip, up and down the mountains. So the second half hopefully will be easier. But you gotta watch your step over stuff like that. And just be careful while you're out here. So when you are selecting a camp spot, the one thing that you should always look for is something called a widow maker, something you don't put your tent or hammock underneath. Something like this. Yeah, that right there, a good stiff wind, that thing come crashing down on you, dead.
So we just stumbled across a couple of campsites here. Well, we just got over our first mountain. It's a mountain, but it's like not covered in snow. So we got here. We're gonna set up at one of these.
Got a little fire going. Getting the hammocks set up. I'm rocking a new Chill Gorilla. Their big like winter fortress thing. It's got doors on it. So a much bigger tarp. I'm really excited about that. And Cass has got her new Chameleon, first time out, first time using her new hammock gear underquilt, so it's a whole new thing. We're going to set up the tarp over her and then just kind of get settled in for the night. So it's going to get cold. It's supposed to get down to like 17 or something, which is crazy considering that we came 900 miles to get away from cold. But even so, it's still 35 degrees warmer than home. So all set up for the night. Got the Chameleon tarp ready to roll. We got the Chill Gorilla back there. Had a really good steak and some beans to get some calories in for the night. Then of course, got the fire to help just a little bit to keep the cold at bay. Try to absorb as much of that heat as possible and then hit the hay. So, see you guys in the morning. Hey guys, it's R. Pelton 1 and Cassandroid coming at you. We are in Arkansas, right near Hot Springs Village, maybe just north of there. But we're on a little trail called the Blakely Trail Loop. There's a couple of loops. There's like an upper loop. Yeah, peninsula basically on Lake Ouachita. It's 35 degrees, which is unseasonably cold, for everyone down here in the south. But we're gonna hike a little while, set up camp, and just enjoy having it be 60 degrees warmer than home, which is Minnesota. So thanks for coming along with us.
So we're on here in the middle of our hike, and we ran into this fellow hiker by the name of Scott. Super cool dude. He had a cute little dog. That's irrelevant information. You should restart this. So we're out here continuing our hike, and we ran into a fellow hiker out here by the name of Scott, and he was just giving us some pointers about the trail, and he actually told us a really cool spot to camp. It's kind of hard to find paper maps of this particular loop, so Robert, our Pelton one, got a hold of a map, and that made him pretty happy. He's a map guy. And then I got this nice little orange thing, because out here in Arkansas, it's the last day of deer hunting season, and he just wanted us to be safe. So it was really cool to meet a fellow hiker out here that had a good spirit and a giving heart. So now we're just going to continue on.
On the Blakely Trail here in Arkansas, right near Hot Springs Village, something like that. Got the winter load out. It's supposed to get to 34 tonight, which it isn't cold, just on the cool side. My pack totally packed up with everything. It's about 33, 34 pounds. Cass back there. She's at about 23, so we're at about 10% of her body weight, give or take. It's a nice hike. Elevation changes aren't too crazy. Looks like there was some controlled burns here a while ago, so it looks like anyway. But it's better than 20 below zero back home. Got about a mile to go to get to a really cool little site that Scott that we met told us about. It's right next to a creek, so we can get some water. It's good to be out here. So we're making some pretty good time. Once you got towards the top of the mountain here, it's pretty even terrain. And they always mark these trails with these blazes, and this trail is not maintained as much as they want. So you really got to be careful and watch for those, because the issue is when they're not refreshed, they can blend in. You know, you can see them on trees, you know, maybe something like that. That's not a blaze, that's just some moss or some lichen. So you really got to kind of pay attention to where those are so you can stay on the trail, because we're out in the middle of nowhere. You just want to keep your wits about you and not go too fast. But feeling pretty good. It's really nice in here. So right through the trees down there is Lake Ouachita, a giant man-made lake, and it's a fairly new one, built in 1952 or dug out in 1952. Not sure if it was part of a quarry that they just used and they finally just filled it up with water, but it's stocked with fish. Not sure how deep it is, but it's the biggest man-made lake I've ever seen, and it's right down there. I think we found our camp spot for the night. It's kind of an open spot right near this creek here that's coming right in from Lake Ouachita, which is also the only water source on this trail. I'm using the MSR sweet water filter. I've used this going on a better part of a year, and it's worked out really, really well. It's got a ceramic filter that you can clean. You can do field maintenance on it, which is really nice. It filters pretty fast, and I love using these collapsible water bottles, for like camp water. The only issue I have with this thing is it's kind of bulky. It's kind of big, and you have to actively use it. I think I might switch to a Sawyer gravity system. That way you can scoop up water, let it gravity feed while you do other camp chores. But I think this will do it for tonight, and get cozy, get a fire going. make some chow.
So one thing that's really nice about this area is you can find a lot of different stuff. And the stuff in question that I like is the rocks of the area. So apparently you can actually find like diamonds and stuff in Arkansas, but that's not in the area we're at. These are just two really nice pieces of quartz I happened to stumble upon while Rob was filling up our water containers. The one you can see has some really nice crystals forming in that little crevice. They're pretty clear, which is what I really like about them. It'll make a nice addition to my bookshelf. And then this other one I'm probably going to give to a friend of mine, but the crystals are there. They're just a little more dull, but pretty neat. Just something you can take home with you.
Got settled. It got dark pretty fast because it was pretty cloudy today. But we got a fire going. Found a pretty cool campsite here. Now we're just kind of relaxing. Had to build a little stool. But over here we got our camp set up. There is the Winganeer tarp, and under that is Cass's chameleon tent, and this will be her second night in it. And over here, under the Chill Gorilla Fortress, I can't even see it very well from here, but under there is my REI hammock, and the thing, this tarp is crazy. But it's a much warmer night than we anticipated. I mean, right now, it's 40 degrees. You know, that's amazing. But we're gonna get some food, relax a little bit, and just enjoy a great night's sleep, and then wake up and get on out of here. It is 7:20. A little bit of a breeze picked up, but we got a nice fire going, and I'm not cold. Are you cold?
I'm a little chilly.
Of course.
Like by default, but
okay. But comparatively, it's not bad.
No, it's no Wednesday night, that's for sure.
We brought out quite a bit of food, so we're gonna just eat all of it, and probably crash right around 9, I would think. But I don't know. I'm having a good time. The fire is awesome. We found just the driest, best wood. So, you know what? The one thing that's really creepy out here, though.
There are spiders everywhere.
You just shine your headlamp out and you just see all these little dots.
It looks like dew.
You're like, yeah, what are those? Like dew, drops of water? Yeah, no, those are thousands of eyes staring at you. Are they poisonous? Are they big?
Yeah.
So, good thing our hammocks have bug nets to keep those critters out. But we're going to drink some beer and we'll see you in the morning. So I'm sitting here drinking this beer, never heard of, just saw it in the liquor store. Island Brewed, Maui Brewing Company, Coconut Hiwa Porter. They're telling me it's a robust dark ale with hand-toasted coconut and hints of mocha. 6% alcohol, I just cracked it. It's got a little bit of mocha in there. But it's delicious, man. No wonder it costs $400 a can. But I think this will be coming with me on these cold weather trips, because this is quite lovely, if you ask me. Crafted with passion from the heart of paradise, we are an innovative and independent brewery. Welcome to the Ohana. Digging it, so good. Well, it is now morning. The temperature still hovered right around that 38 to 40 degree mark, so it never got really, really cold. You know, the one thing I'll say about this experience, and that I'm really not used to, you know, now that, you know, we're out in the middle of nowhere, I've never experienced this level of quiet before. It was like deprivation tank quiet last night. No wind, no rustling, no, virtually like a dead zone of everything. There was a moment of excitement. I finally got to sleep. And Cass woke me up because she heard something down by the creek. So I sprang up in ninja mode, you know, and got out of my hammock, and it turned out it was a deer running through, and it was blowing at us, and she didn't know what it was. You know, it could have been, you know, Bigfoot, a bobcat, you know, who knows what it could have been. But that was pretty exciting last night. But the quiet set in so much that it makes you think about all this kind of stuff. You hear one little thing maybe, and you're like, oh, it's a bear or something. But as long as you get over your mental game, you can be out here like this because there's nothing gonna mess with you. So now it's time to get up, pack up, and get back on the trail. Back on the trail. Great morning. A little gloomy, but warm. It's kind of lovely. There's still no wind. Virtually no noises. You know, last night it was kind of funny. You know, in addition to the creepy spider eyes everywhere and the deer running through camp and freaking us out and the spooky silence. Last night at about 2 in the morning, heard gunshots in the middle of the night. Kind of far, but not that far. So that was a little cause of concern. What are they shooting at? Who are they shooting at? Are we doing some Hatfield and McCoy action or something? Whew. But well, otherwise, you know, it was a good time, a good trip. How did you sleep?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah?
Got a little hot at a couple points, but, you know, just took my socks off to alleviate that extra heat.
Yeah, I got pretty warm. Her underquilt is weighted for 0, and so that obviously worked really well. Once you get that adjusted, it seems to work fine. If you don't have it adjusted, it sucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Air
Well,
pockets and whatnot.
yeah. Well, it's all learning experience. All to, you know, just up the ante while you're out here to make it a lot better. So, just gonna head on out, get to the car, and head to the great frozen north. So answer me this, fellas. I barely have anything on. I got a light polypropylene layer and just a light hoodie. And I'm hiking and I'm boiling. No gloves, no hat. I'm frying. Cass up there trucking along with 2 layers of bottoms, like a fleece, you know, like sweatpant, a full-length down coat. And she's happy as can be. What the hell? Holy crap. That's impressive. Well, what a trip. We kind of got into all kinds of stuff down here in Arkansas. Our original plan was to escape the cold up in Minnesota where it was 7 below, 10 below with a wind chill of 20 something crazy.
First night here it was 15.
First night here that we stayed, we went to Eagle Rock Loop, stayed there, and it got down to 15 degrees that night. And our sleep systems were maxed out. We weren't quite geared for that. We were thinking it was going to be in the 30s. She ended up getting a little bit of a head cold, so we actually had to head out after that overnight, and we got into town in the hot springs and stayed overnight there. Started to feel a little better.
Yeah, and I'm not as stuffed up, and, you know, nothing is miserable now.
Yeah.
Actually had a lot of fun.
Yeah, good. That's good. And then we ended up finding another trail, the Blakely Trail here, which is, it's a great trail. It's very secluded, and it seems to be on the verge of being maintained by a big volunteer group. We just ran into a couple people, so it looks like this place is going to start to get a lot more attention as far as maintenance goes, which is really, really nice. But as far as, you know, the gear that I use, the REI backpack that I used for the first time, worked out fantastically well. Held a lot of weight and felt really good while I had it on. You know, so I put some miles on it. My top quilt worked phenomenally well. My underquilt system for my hammock worked well. The giant tarp that I just got, the Chill Gorilla, worked really, really well too. All in all, the gear that I brought, I thought performed exactly as it should have, so I was really proud of that. And then her new hammock, the Chameleon, once we finally got that adjusted.
It was pretty great. Comfy, warm, really easy to navigate. You know, there's a lot of zippers. Well, there's 2 zippers on each side, so it's like you can't not get out of it. It's really easy to use.
Yeah. And now it's about 40 degrees, and we're just about to head out of here and head back north. But appreciate you watching. It was kind of an adventure for us and a big time learning experience, but I had a lot of fun.
Me too.
So, but
really good.
Yeah, I thought so too. So if you get a chance, come out and check out Arkansas. It's a hidden gem that not a lot of people are talking about yet. So check it out. But we appreciate you watching. If you like any of the videos that that I've put out, I'd invite you to hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll just keep pumping out some videos because I really enjoy doing it, and I really enjoy sharing it with you, and I enjoy sharing the trips with her.
Yay!
So see you on the next one, guys. Thanks.
Bye.